Welcome to episode 176 of the official Gamestitch Podcast. I'm Ryan Walton. Today I'm joined by Dan Reamer and the cherry to my blossom, Matt Bowden.
Oh, Jesus.
It's good to be here. Thanks for that intro.
It's good to be here. Where you said that like I just brought you on stage at an award ceremony.
I know.
I know. I like it. I like to make it official.
You're a cherry.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like cherry blossoms.
Right.
Not my thing.
I feel like I like them in pictures. I don't think I'd want them around because I feel like they're messy.
No, I don't give a shit
like,
for vegetation in general unless I can eat it.
You could eat a cherry blossom, I guess.
Yeah, I think you can eat all of it, really.
It's gotta be tasty. It's gotta be tasty.
Okay.
Although I'm sure if it's prepared right, it could be. I understand that, but I'm not living in tribe in the Amazon, so I could give a shit.
Right, I get that.
Well, you just offended all those listeners.
Yeah.
I want one of those. It needs to be able to be prepared and tasty using my first world skills and appliances.
Salt and heat. That's all it should take to make something taste good.
Right, and
Salt
if you
and
can't
heat.
go
I like
that,
pepper, though. I like pepper.
Well, salt,
like
pepper, and
spices.
heat.
Let's say spices.
I'll take that. Salt, pepper, heat. That should be the
I
only
feel
things
like that's
it
not
takes.
going to do it for a cherry blossom.
I'll tell
Man,
you.
you don't know that.
The cherry blossom, a popular tattoo among the ladies.
Among the ladies, especially
You don't see a lot of dudes with cherry blossoms on.
Always on the hip, isn't it? It's always on the hip too.
Yeah, that or it goes like down their side over to their butt cheek or something like that. Yeah,
it's always
because
weird.
they want to be a tree.
I do like trees. Okay.
I do. I sure.
Yeah, you're a tree guy.
I mean, I wouldn't say a tree guy, but I've never had beef with a tree. Like, we're okay.
That's true.
Okay.
They give me life and paper.
Until they try to kill you, like in The Happening.
Never had it happen, though.
Nobody
also,
has.
spoiler alert for The Happening.
Right, if you're going to watch The Happening this weekend.
I don't recommend it, by the way. I don't recommend watching The Happening. Just take the spoiler and run with it.
I don't recommend it
I liked that movie.
now that you screwed the story up.
I don't
like
recommend
that
it because
movie.
it's a shitbag fucking movie.
It's got Mark Wahlberg in it. It can only be good at that point.
Well, I was listening to, I was reading an article about The Happening. I read it this week, and apparently, what the film critic says, it's a horrible movie, but if you turn on your TV and turn the contrast all the way down so you can't see anything, it makes a great radio play.
Yeah, that makes sense too. It's very like that 19 whatever's, Orson Welles type thing.
There's a lot of exposition in it too. They have to explain everything because it's essentially vegetation attempting to commit genocide. So it's kind of hard to put in visuals.
Yeah, I like it though. I thought it was a good movie. I liked the idea.
I don't know. Well, they lost me at Mark Wahlberg as a science teacher, so
Mark Wahlberg can be anything.
That's not fair.
Yeah, he can be anything. He can do anything. Come on.
that's incredibly fair.
Right. No, he can be a rap artist. He can be an actor. He can be a science teacher.
He can't. He does not pull off science teacher. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go with Matt on this, and I haven't even seen it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't care.
You put him in a lab coat, scientist.
I have my own ideas about this.
All right.
I hold my own opinions. You guys can hold yours. You guys are wrong. It's fine.
Speaking of opinions, the most talented of the Wahlberg brothers.
Ooh.
Mark.
Donnie, dude. I told you the other day it's Donnie.
It's Mark. It's always been Mark. It'll always be Mark.
It's Donnie.
I don't know. I think
It's Donnie.
I think it's the guy who cooks.
Paul?
Listen.
You're going with the Paul?
Yeah.
Paul only gets to cook because of Mark and Donnie. No
Here's
offense
my
to Paul.
argument for Donnie Wahlberg. First of all, New Kids on the Block, way more successful than the Funky Bunch, okay?
True. That's
okay?
true. That's true.
By like
That's
just
true.
head and shoulders above. Okay,
That's
now here's
true.
the thing about Donnie Wahlberg, the actor. Dreamcatcher, hit one of his first movies that he was in. I guarantee you didn't know it was Donnie Wahlberg in that movie. And pretty much everything up until Blue Bloods, he was this insanely good character actor. He wasn't like a I'm going to play this one kind of dude from New York, which he kind of latched onto in Blue Bloods. And Donnie Wahlberg is one of the best actors of our time. Mark Wahlberg's not bad. Mark Wahlberg's fantastic.
Wasn't his first movie in Sixth Sense?
Oh, yeah, he did do Sixth Sense first. Sixth Sense and then Dreamcatcher right after. Yeah, and then he was Duddits in Dreamcatcher.
Yes.
Yeah, but like totally amazing character actor.
The most talented of the brothers.
Mark is a great actor, but Mark always plays the same guy. Really, he's always some dude from like the Bronx or Brooklyn or wherever the fuck his New York accent is. I have seen Shooter,
and he's always he's some super super confident badass.
Yeah,
clearly you've not seen him light up a Denny Moore can from a mile away.
I think Mark Wahlberg's.
Clearly, you guys missed that scene.
Mark Wahlberg's best movie to date has been I Heart Huckabees because he's kind of insane and it works really well for him. And then right next to that, Boogie Nights. If you really want to get into stuff that I think he didn't fit the role, but he made it fit.
Yeah,
in the best possible way. I think those two movies are really good examples.
Boogie Nights and I Heart Huckabees are not your typical Mark Wahlberg roles.
Yeah.
That's like when it was announced that he was going to be in Transformers 4. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't
totally
really
makes sense.
Yeah, kind of, but I didn't think that was a great fit for him just because it seemed like it was beneath him because he is such a better actor. But that's the thing, you wouldn't see Donnie Wahlberg in a role like that.
Because he wouldn't get offered it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But, what was the movie? What was the other David O. Russell movie that he did with Christian Bale where he was a boxer?
Oh, The Fighter.
The Fighter. That was a really good one.
The Fighter's really good too.
Yeah, but that was all about Christian Bale. That was.
Yeah, it really was a Christian Bale movie with Mark Wahlberg tacked on.
Right. Even though Mark Wahlberg was the main character,
he was the lead for sure. Yeah.
Which I think says something. Really, I think it says something to prove our point, Matt.
That Donnie Wahlberg's the better Wahlberg brother.
Because the lead, Mark Wahlberg was the lead in that movie. Mm-hmm. And he was intensely and severely overshadowed by the second.
The support actor.
I'll tell you what, Marky Mark doesn't write the movies.
You're right.
He doesn't.
It doesn't matter. It wasn't about the writing.
The movies.
It wasn't about the writing.
He's doing what he's told to do. He's doing it at a high level. It wasn't about
the writing.
A higher level than Donnie.
No, it's the thing that if you put Donnie up next to Bruce Willis, they hold their own. You put Mark Wahlberg up against Bruce Willis, and he gets overshadowed and forgotten.
Yeah,
that's drunk. The difference.
You're drunk.
I mean, clearly what happened with The Fighter versus The Sixth Sense.
Right.
You're drunk this morning. Go watch Blue Bloods and tell me that Donnie's better than Mark.
Blue Bloods is a good fucking
Blue Bloods
show,
is a great goddamn show. First of all, it's got Tom Selleck in it.
That's
exactly
there. Who overshadows everyone in that
Bridget
show.
Moynihan.
Not at all.
No, it's not.
No.
They are
everybody's
ensemble.
Equal in that show.
They're
Yeah.
a wonderful ensemble.
Only person I care about is Tom Selleck on that show.
That's just because you got a man crush on Magnum PI. There's nothing wrong with that.
I do.
But you got to realize that you're biased going into it.
Speaking of Magnum PI, what's going on with all the TV reboots?
They're rebooting PI?
No, they're rebooting MacGyver.
What? With who?
One of the Jonas Brothers.
Lucas Till.
Shut up.
The kid who played Havoc in First Class.
Yeah, that's
in the X-Men movies.
I don't get that. Hang on, I gotta look this up.
They showed the trailer this week. Trailer came out for it, and there was something else. Oh, they're doing a Training Day TV show.
Star Trek reboot, MacGyver reboot.
There you go. That's the one. And what else are they doing? They're doing another reboot too. Oh, they're doing Lethal Weapon for TV.
MacGyver's kind of already been rebooted. It's called Scorpion.
Yeah.
Where they
this doesn't look like
that there's no way that they could ever do with what they have.
I don't like this.
Yeah, but no, they use a lot of because they use a lot of computers and internet and.
Yeah, but it's total bullshit.
Yeah,
but it's Mia from Fast and Furious.
No, but it's totally different than what. Then Scorpion is completely different from what MacGyver does.
Yeah, see, here's the thing
Not
about
at a base
this
level. They're just taking shit that they really couldn't do that with and doing that with.
I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen this, and to those of you listening, go watch this MacGyver trailer. Here's the impression I'm getting, and I'm watching it with the volume down. But instead of MacGyver, I'm getting Home Alone. Like, I'm getting more of a Home Alone plus 15 years vibe off of it. And not so much MacGyver.
Which I just want you to know, I will watch the shit out of that show.
Right. Just don't call it MacGyver, please.
Home Alone reboot?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Home Alone, Home Aloner.
It's also got that guy from CSI.
Yeah.
You'll have to be more specific because there's 200 CSI.
George Eads.
Yeah, that guy.
From the original CSI.
I got you.
Only he's kind of a badass and like a smart ass in this one, it looks like, so.
Yeah, I mean, this is fine. This kid's just too young to be playing
Hawaii
MacGyver.
5-0's not terrible.
What's that?
The Hawaii
Hawaii
5-0 reboot's not terrible.
What the hell's MacGyver's first name? Like Dustin or something like
Ronnie?
that?
No, it's not. It's Angus.
Yeah, it's something weird like that. Yeah.
No, it's
Ronnie
not
would've
something
been
weird
better.
like that. It is that. Look it up.
So-
It's Angus MacGyver.
There's only one opinion on this podcast this morning.
That's not an opinion if it's
only,
a fact.
Only one allowed. Oh, it's not just that. It's everything. Everybody's touchy this morning. Makes for a great listen.
You think we get a Richard Dean Anderson cameo in the
I sure
TV
hope
show?
so. I think you have to at some point. Right?
Yeah,
What's he
hopefully
doing?
he comes in, he just kills the new kid, and then he's like, I'm the real MacGyver.
That's probably not
What's he
going to
doing?
happen.
Selling soap on Etsy?
No,
I
he's
don't
going to
know.
conventions for Stargate.
Let's check in on him. Yeah, probably. Yeah, because he's still...
Let's not.
Really?
Let's talk about video games.
Okay.
That's why we're here.
You
He hasn't
fucking
done
say
anything
so?
since 2013. It's
Or
safe
not.
to say he's retired.
Or not. We'll keep talking about this.
No, go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
You let me know when the MacGyver
No.
cast is over so someone can turn the fucking volume back up.
Sorry, Ryan. We don't mean to play the Christian Bale to your Mark Wahlberg. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. This is very enjoyable for a video game podcast. MacGyver chat.
How good would a MacGyver game be? Or do you think it would be too hand-holdy?
It'd
They'd be
shit.
like...
It'd be shit.
Yeah. It wouldn't be like Last of Us with like putting pipe bombs together and stuff like that. It'd be some
No,
garbage
it's gotta
ass.
be way more complicated.
Well, the
Yeah, it would
problem
be
is
like
that 505
handhold through
games
the
would have
puzzle.
to make it. Like,
Yeah.
it's not getting a good developer.
Right.
No offense.
Right. Nobody's giving that to Naughty Dog.
Yeah. What if that's what Sucker Punch is working on? Open world MacGyver.
God, does it have to be open world?
They're probably not.
That's all they make, yeah. Has to
I
be
think
open
it's got
world.
yeah.
Then I'm out. I don't care. They
The-
could make a open world game about getting your penis sucked for real, and I wouldn't play it.
The big rumor is that they're working on Spider-Man.
Then they
that's
probably
stupid.
are.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
like- For the new Homecoming movie? A tie-in?
No. So think Infamous meets Arkham Knight meets Spider-Man.
They kind of already had that game. Wasn't it called the Spider-Man 2?
Yeah, and Spider-Man's not gonna. People
Like they're going
keep
for a
comparing
gritty
it to
Spider-Man open world.
Yeah, but there's no gritty Spider-Man
can't do
stories.
gritty Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's not gritty.
I'm not making the game. Just telling you what I've heard.
All right, that's fine. Take a character
Okay,
that's
yeah.
not gritty. That's overall just a good kid.
Right.
Make him gritty. Try to copy Batman. That won't blow up in their fucking face.
But with Sony, Spider-Man would be it would be convenient with the movie. It would also not cost them as much with the licensing.
Yeah, but if
I get
Sucker Punch is owned by Sony,
And they're already making...
so it would only be released on PS4. I can't believe that Marvel would allow that to happen with that property. That doesn't make sense. That
I
they
think
wouldn't
they
allow it
would.
to go to all the other consoles.
I think
Maybe they will. Maybe that's the trick.
I don't see Sony doing that, though.
That's the big
I'll
rumor.
tell you this.
Because what's the point of
Spider-
having your own in-house developer if you're then going to use them for ship around for other consoles? That takes the exclusivity out of it.
Oh, it would be exclusive.
Well, Spider-Man's definitely the only superhero that I think should have an open world game, but they have to do it like Spider-Man or I don't give a shit.
Right.
I mean, Superman...
Which is-
Sucker Punch is already making open world superhero games, so...
Right, but in my brain, Spider-Man is like the PS2 games. It's kind of like tongue-in-cheek humor, and everything is
Right.
not realistic because his world doesn't suck.
Or actually,
it could be.
I would even
could
say
also not
that,
be a Spider-Man game, but that's the rumor.
I would also say that the best Spider-Man game out there isn't any of those. It's Ultimate Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. The one that was cel-shaded that
Yes.
had Venom in it. Yeah,
Yes.
that one was really good.
I would say that is the best Spider-Man game.
I think Shattered Dimensions was the last one I played.
Yeah.
Yeah,
PS3.
not a terrible run of games when they were doing those.
I mean, none of the Spider-Man games are terrible.
Those are all
But-
Activision, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But they're not all. None of them are like stick out. Like they all kind of blend together, with the exception for me of Ultimate Spider-Man.
I'll play probably
even like
whatever they
Spider-Man.
make.
yeah. I don't even like Spider-Man.
I'm not a big Spider-Man guy either. He's way overused
I don't mind him.
and not always used right. So there.
Oh man, that got quiet. I don't like that.
Oof.
I mean, I'm just thinking, like if you're using it to make money,
Uh-oh.
that's
No wonder it was
right for
quiet.
them, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not one to speak about what they should do with their finances and how they should attempt to make money. I'm just, as somebody who plays video games and somebody who reads comic books, they can scrap Spider-Man for me. I'm actually on superhero overload right now. I don't need another superhero game.
I could do without the movies.
Really? Because
The-
the Arkham collection's coming out. You gonna
Yeah,
get that?
I don't. No, I already own all of those games.
Right.
Why would I buy them again just to
Understand.
have them on PS4? Yeah.
I understand. I get it.
I don't get that.
All I
See?
did was ask a question.
Touchy.
Don't
Yeah,
fucking get
everybody's
like that.
touchy.
No, you're fine. And to speak to that, I'm very against rebooting every game that ever came out on PS3 on PS4. To me, that's a waste of a console cycle. I want new games, and let's remaster this fucking game that you already played 10 years ago. Fuck you, make me a new game, Sony.
Some people didn't play those games.
It doesn't fucking matter. Go buy a PS3 and play it. A lot of people didn't play some shit on SNES. They're not re-releasing that on every other console that came after that.
Nintendo
Yeah,
is.
that's not a fair comparison though, because
you-
essentially
if you-
essentially Nintendo fucking re-releases everything. They just rename it and add a few new things in.
No, they
here's
pretty
just
much
a little
re-released
different.
it too ever since the Wii. Like, that
Here's
shit just keeps coming out.
well, having a virtual arcade is different than making like a commercial re-release of games. Here's what I'll say where I think Sony is fucking up with the PS4, and it's hard to say that because they're selling PS4s hand over fist, and they're just like living in beds of money, laughing, like wiping their ass with $100 bills. Like I know they're in the money right now.
That sounds like my life.
But here's the thing that Sony's doing that I think's leaving a bad taste in people's mouths.
Your mouth.
They have taken a lot of Microsoft's customers and brought them over to Sony, and a lot of those customers missed the PS3 life cycle. Their thought is, let's take all these great PS3 games and put them on PS4 for these people who missed them. Fuck that. That's not why those people came over here. If they wanted to play those games, they would have bought a PS3 and played those fucking games. They came to PS4 because the price point was right and graphically it was better. They want new games. Nobody wants to play the shit that they purposefully skipped.
If it wasn't selling, they would not continue to make them.
I don't think they're selling. I think it's cheap. I think we're using selling loosely here in like selling and making so much of a profit that it's making a dent in the marketplace. They don't have to pay much to have those games
Right,
remastered.
so it's profitable.
They can put
Why wouldn't you do it?
Well,
but it's a
here's a-
waste of time. Number one,
I think
Not
here's
if it's profitable.
Here's something I want to chime in on this for a second. I think you have to take the property into account. I can understand it with the Nathan Drake collection, The Last of Us remastered, Beyond Two Souls remastered. All those. I can understand that because those are properties. If you didn't have a PS3, then you weren't able to play those. This
Right.
Arkham one is stupid because it was available on all the consoles, and you had one or the other, so you played it.
and it was a game of the year on Xbox 360 and on PS3.
Right.
Both of them. Like, there's no reason to fucking put those back out. Sure, they made a great graphics engine with Arkham Knight.
Gears of War remastered, I understand. Halo remastered, I understand. This Arkham Knight one, or the Arkham one, makes no sense at all because it's a waste of time, effort, and expenses just to
I think
release. released, you could get those in the old cycle on any console.
Yeah,
So,
and I think it's insulting of Sony and Microsoft to think that the gamers' nostalgia for games that they played 4 years ago is so great that they need to release them on the new console. Fuck that. Like, there has to be some time to pass before people are going to want to play that game again. I don't understand that.
And actually, it was done the best with the Nathan Drake collection, the Uncharted collection, because the way they timed that remaster was perfect, considering the time you had to wait for Uncharted 4. That was the most perfect and accurate placement.
Well, and it makes sense because you've got a bunch
Right.
of people coming from Xbox that didn't play those games.
Right. So
Put it in their hands in preparation for a new game.
In a nutshell, I understand it for the exclusive games that were large sellers that, in a certain sense, defined the system. The Arkham one makes no sense.
It's fucking stupid.
It's like saying, well, why don't you just fucking, remaster the siphon filters and put them out in a package for the PS4?
Right. How about just scrap that and make a new siphon filter?
Right.
Reboot siphon filter. Why not? Yeah, why not do that? Like, I understand time-wise, money-wise, it's cheaper, but it's really fucking insulting as a gamer to think that.
But to be fair, that's not on the Arkham one. The Arkham collection that sits on Rocksteady. That doesn't sit on Sony or. I mean,
Right,
they're allowing them to be in their system, but it's Rocksteady that is trying to do that.
Right, I get it. Like, Rocksteady's got this brand new engine from Arkham Knight. It looks really good, and they want to show off their old games in that as if they had made them now. That's fine, but it's still fucking insulting. It's still a slap in the face instead of going, hey, we're going to make a brand new game for you. We're going to try to cash in on this thing that you already spent your money on. Like, fuck you, dude. Fuck you.
Well, I
like,
can understand.
really?
At that point, I can understand where time becomes an issue, too. It takes a lot less time and money to just implement that into that reboot or into the remaster rather than take the time to have to develop a whole new game. I understand that. That doesn't mean it's right. Okay, just because I understand something doesn't make it right. Doesn't make it the right thing to do. Doesn't necessarily make it a good idea. Maybe they should have taken those time for the next Arkham game. You're right. Might have pushed it off a little bit, but they want the money now. And remasters, unfortunately, are an easy way to do that. You're going to see people.
But they're training young gamers to accept that only a certain handful of games are worth playing and only certain iterations of those games are worth buying. Oh, it's over and over and over. So how many times are kids who grew up playing Halo 2 going to have to fucking buy Halo 2 in their lifetime? Like stuff like that. Like, just make another Halo game if you love Halo so much.
From the corporate standpoint, that's exactly what they want.
It is, that's not how. If
they want to create those sheep, so they can say, here, you're the donkey. Here's the carrot.
Right.
Come get the carrot. Come follow and get the carrot. That's what they want. They want the sheep, the people who are going to just buy what they put out.
But I very much believe that the games industry is not the kind of industry where they're, number one, willing to insult the intelligence of their demographic, like of the people who support them, number one. And I also don't think that they're, I don't know how to say this. Like, I don't think that they don't want to promote growth.
No,
like,
but
this is an industry that grows and changes quite frequently, and I can't imagine that the majority or a large part of the industry doesn't think that doing constant reboots it's a great way to get money quickly, or in the case of like the Uncharted collection, it's a great way to catch people up on a series that they may have missed that may be impossible to go back and get now. But that's stunting the growth of the industry.
Here's what I think you're going to see. Here's my prediction. I think as time goes on, say 8-10 years, what you're going to see is you're going to see most of your original IPs coming out in the independent realm, and most of your AAA titles, due to money, time, all those different factors, most of those are going to be more along your remaster or your sequel, or in a certain sense, we're there now. But I think it's going to just continue to get worse.
Until we don't have AAA games anymore. Yeah.
You will have AAA games, but very few and far between of those will be new IPs. Because let's face it, we all know that new IPs are the most expensive things to try to create for these developers.
Right. It's not often you get an Uncharted 4, you get a sequel that blows you away.
Right.
And it's not often that you get, The Last of Us, a brand new IP that changes the world.
And I think part of that is part of what we're seeing now with the remasters is kind of, dangling that carrot, trying to get us to follow it so we end up down that road eventually.
Yeah. I don't know. It pisses me right off.
It is what it is. It's how the world works.
What happened to Ryan?
I don't know.
I'm here.
You sleeping?
Some people just want to watch the world burn.
Wow.
Let's talk about what we played.
Okay. I figure you passed out over there.
I don't. It just wasn't that long of a conversation for me.
I played Arkham Knight. No, I'm kidding.
Right.
I don't think there's anything wrong with making games that people buy, regardless if they're reboots. Matt, I think you probably played the most out of everybody.
Probably.
Yeah. Well, this week I didn't play much though. I played Uncharted 4 multiplayer with you guys. I played a little bit of WWE.
Now, what are you still doing on there?
Just playing with the Wrestler Creation Suite thing. That's all I ever do. I don't really wrestle in those games. I just play with the creation modes.
So even with the creation, you're just creating. You're done at that point.
Yeah, that's all I do.
You don't play with them once they're created.
No, I'll do some creations, and then I'll make the computer fight the computer and watch it and see if the AI, like the artificial intelligence for each character, is working correctly, and then I'll go back and tweak and tweak and tweak until they fight the way I want them to, and then I just find something new to work on.
Do they still have it where you can upload that character then?
Yep.
Where other people can scoop it up?
Yeah. It's and sometimes you have to play a match with the character to get them to like follow a certain pattern. Does that make sense? So, like, if you want them to do a certain move after a certain move, you have to, like, play a couple of matches where you repeat that cycle, and it'll lock it into their AI. But for the most part, if you just, build the moveset a certain way, it works. So, I don't know. I find it pretty fascinating to play around with that. And then the big thing I did this week was I put a 2 terabyte hard drive in my PS4 finally. I stopped fucking around talking about it and actually did it. Newegg was running a sale on the upgrade hard drive, and so I bit the bullet. How long did it take you? Maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours tops. A lot of it was the data transfer. Now, I will say this. If you don't have a spare 500 gigabyte external hard drive laying around, it's going to cost you more. I did this for like right around $100. Mm-hmm. I think the hard drive costs like $90. So I got it shipped into the house, and it was $93 all said and done. But I have several 500 gig hard drives. So the hardest part for me was formatting the hard drive down, plugging it up to the PS4, transferring the data over, and then it takes 5 minutes to put the new hard drive in, and then you just transfer everything back. So a lot of the time is just spent waiting. You go turn a movie on, and by the time that's finished, all the data's on the external. You change the hard drive out real quick, and then you put it back on, and by the time you watch another movie, you're ready to game. It's really quick. What takes the longest time is to make it fast, you want to uninstall all of the games from the hard drive. You don't want to take your save files or your add-ons or your DLC packs or anything like that, because that stuff takes forever to re-download.
Just your application save data.
Right, just the installs off the discs or the full game downloads from the PSN store. Just delete all of that. And I left Uncharted 4 on mine because I didn't want to reinstall that monster. So I think I did 80 gigs total, transferred back and forth. It wasn't even that much. So I think it took an hour and 15 minutes one way to take it off, and then 55 minutes to put it back. It was really fast, and I highly recommend everybody do it. It's very simple to do. I don't know why they don't ship PS4s this way. I've put every game that I own, with the exception of Diablo 3 and Fallout 4, back on my hard drive, and I still have like over a terabyte to play with. So, good decision, I say. But that's all I did. That was it.
You played some Uncharted?
Yeah, I said that right at the front. Uncharted multiplayer.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, nothing serious happened. You know, we just played Uncharted multiplayer.
Right. Good Lord.
Which I feel like we're all getting better at. I think we're all getting calmer and getting better at talking to each other about, because I feel like I did way better this week.
Well, you didn't quit, so that was.
I mean, I didn't find myself at a point where I wasn't having fun this week either. Like, I managed to have fun the whole time, and the only reason I stopped playing was because if I had to get up and go to work the next day, you know. But yeah, I had a good time with it.
Yeah, the game is fun.
It is fun.
I've enjoyed the. It needs a few more maps.
Yes.
Because, you know, as we're getting more comfortable, so are the people
Everyone
we're
else.
playing against.
Yeah.
Right. Some of
the people we're playing against are getting much more comfortable than we are.
And I think a lot of our time is still split. You know, I'm still playing Rocket League pretty aggressively, and you're still playing Rocket League, The Division, and this. So, I mean, I just think that if we devoted nonstop time, you know, towards the multiplayer of Uncharted, we would probably be at that level. But just splitting it between games, it gets tough to keep the skill level up.
It's true.
Yeah, and I find that not concentrating, like only playing that, I do worse than if I play several games in rotation with it too.
I enjoy
Like, I take
playing
a break.
several games, you know, as long as it's manageable. Like, I don't ever want it to feel like I have to play something.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think that's what's going so well with the group of people we're playing with, is everybody's, like, super flexible.
Yeah.
So it seems to be just, you know, it's every time I get on and play every night, it's just fun.
Yeah, we've got a good rotation too. Like if I'm not on, there you still have 3 other people to play with. If Dan's not on, we've got, you know, like we've got Howard and Patman all playing with 3 of us. So we typically have a team of 4 or 5 no matter what anyway, and that makes it easy too.
And the good thing about all of us is we're all pretty flexible in what we'll play together. So if someone's like, hey, you guys want to play, if we're in the middle of Uncharted, hey, you guys want to play Rocket League? Yeah, let's finish this match.
I couldn't tell you the last time I
that
got
easy.
on to play something and there wasn't at least someone else online.
Right.
Yeah, it hasn't been like this in a while. Since The Last of Us on PS3 was the last time it was like this for me. Which
I think would be fun for us to get back into as well.
But even then, that was organized and coordinated. Whereas, like, I just turned my PS4 on and there is somebody on.
One of us is on. Yeah. One of the core groups that you play with?
Yeah, and we just throw a open chat party up, and everybody just comes and goes as they please.
Yep.
Like, it's super nice. It's super, like, this is the way, you know, because I really was very single player kind of back in the day, and I slowly have transitioned to multiplayer. Like, this is the way I want my multiplayer experience to be.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody I don't talk to joining. You know, because I don't know what to do with that. But, like, if they're a friend, like I like our rotation right now with our 5 or 6 people is awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
And it's making the games even more fun than they already are.
Yeah, the being able to switch back and forth is
It's good.
because there's nothing better than, and I don't know why, because it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense for it to be so joyful. But there's nothing better than we've been playing Uncharted for 45 minutes to an hour. Won some, lost some. And all of a sudden, someone else pops in and goes, hey, you guys want to play Rocket League? And it's like Christmas fucking morning.
Yeah.
And you're like, yes, we'll finish this match, and then we'll play fucking Rocket League. You're goddamn right.
Well, sometimes you just need a palate cleanse. Like, you just need to do something different. And I think that goes for any game. If you do it long enough, it starts to not be as fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's more true with some, with some games more than others. But I like the idea of doing something else, as long as we can still all do it together. That's so. Right now, popping between Uncharted and Rocket League is perfect, and I think almost all of us have Last of Us, so that's another one we can jump back to.
Well, it's nice. Another thing too that's nice is, and it wasn't I didn't realize when it came out that I would actually use the party chat in this manner, but there'll be times when I'm playing something and you guys are playing something else, and we're in a party chatting.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty standard when I get on. If there's not a party created, I just create one, invite you, because the other people usually join.
Right.
Or vice versa. If you jump on and I'm on, you'll just create a party and invite me, and then
by the time I create a party, somebody already joins.
Right.
If I get on and there's not one, as soon as I click the button, somebody else will join in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I mean,
that's how it was supposed to be.
Yeah, it is. That's exactly right. That's how it's supposed to work, or that's the way I think it's supposed to work. The last couple months of gaming has been really, really, really good for me.
I get that.
I owe it all to Rocket League. I'm just kidding.
What did you say? Rocket League.
I said I owe it all to Rocket League. I'm telling you, I just can't. I don't know how to stop playing that game.
I feel like gaming's over for you because it's never going to get better. It's to the point where you haven't finished Uncharted because of Rocket League.
I'm seriously worried that what you just said is true.
No, dude, I think it is. As much as you talk about Rocket League,
I'm concerned that I will never feel the way I feel right now.
You haven't Uncharted. I thought Uncharted 4 was going to be the biggest game launch for you, and you haven't latched onto that the way that I thought you would, because you still play Rocket League 2 hours a night.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sometimes 4, sometimes 4,
sometimes 6.
Right.
Yeah, I don't understand how you can't tear yourself away from Rocket League to finish Uncharted 4, which I think is probably one of the greatest action adventure games of all time.
I don't know either. I mean, I can't explain it, but there's something that works on a level that most games don't in Rocket League for me. I really think it's the progression. A lot of times I play Uncharted all night and don't feel any different than when I started. I almost always feel like I got better when we play Rocket League. And I mean, you fast forward back, 2 months ago? Or
rewind back. I would say rewind back.
Well, you could fast forward all the way around.
You go back to the start, come on back to this point.
Now we're getting into fucking some deep-seated physics here. Holy shit.
So if you rewind back to 2 months ago and you look at the level that me and Dan were playing at, it doesn't even look like the same people.
I agree with that.
And I don't know. I just don't know that I played a game where you continue. I'm sure there's a point where you don't get better, but we're not anywhere close to it.
Right.
Dan scored a goal last night that I don't even know if he could have scored a week ago. It was a fucking great goal. That's what keeps me playing Rocket League. Those things like that, because we're all so much better. We played 8 games or something last night without losing, and we looked fucking like studs.
Here's the thing about Rocket League that a lot of people don't get. That is a game of unscripted moments. That is why that game is so good. Yeah, Uncharted is great because of its moments as well, but those are scripted.
But you know how when you get frustrated, mad, and you want to quit, or you do quit an Uncharted?
Yeah.
That doesn't happen in Rocket League because it's truly never over until it ends.
Right.
I've seen games 100% that you cannot win, and you come back and win.
Yeah, I mean, I get that.
But if you're down 8 to 35, in Uncharted, you fucking lost.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna happen.
That's
right.
game over.
It never gets out of hand like that, or rarely does it ever get even close out of hand like that. You always feel up until the last 15 seconds, and most of the time until the last second, that you still have a shot to win.
It's last night we were playing, we were down, we ended up losing, but we were down 3-1. And it was a minute 55 left. We're like, okay, well, we got 55 seconds to score 1 goal, preferably 2, but that'll leave us another minute to score another goal.
Right.
So what do? We come back, we score the 2 goals, and then we let them score and lose 4-3. But that's not the point. The point is we had a strategy, and we weren't out of it with a minute 55 left. A lot of times a minute 55, you're done.
Or I jumped on and I was chatting with you, Dan, and I was down 4-0 playing solos against a guy.
Yeah.
And I was frustrated and I was pissy, and I came back and won 5-4.
Yeah.
That is what's beautiful about that game, is that it really is a fucking coin toss. Because you need to bounce, you need things to go your way, you need that guy to mess up. It's all fucking just everything has to work out. and it's like you just never can count on anything. And I think it's also a lot of it is the quick game time, like the 5 minutes.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
Because you don't dwell on a shitty match. Like an Uncharted, an ass whooping might take 15 minutes.
Right. The whole time you're mad about it.
Right. It's one thing to get your ass beat for 5 minutes, but to get beat for 15, you're like, all right, I get it.
Stop
so
shooting
I
me
don't
in the
know.
face.
It's a perfect storm for me. And but I really have thought about what you said, and I mean, I am maybe, I don't know if concerned is the right word, but I'm worried that I won't find anything
like this moment.
I don't know that I've played anything like this ever.
Are you afraid that you've peaked?
Maybe, because I don't.
As far as your enjoyment level,
I was this way over Mod Nation too. Like I played that game way past its prime.
True.
Yeah.
And the first Little Big Planet, and maybe even the second Little Big Planet. So I don't know. I mean, I guess it could happen. There could certainly be something again where I feel that way. You know, maybe Dreams is that way. But I don't know. There's just something, and I think it's like the teamwork aspect too. Like I love that. Like
I wish you'd blast through Uncharted so that we could do a spoiler cast on it.
I wish they'd make
that ain't happening.
I wish they'd make a new DLC pack for Rocket League. We all got wishes.
I'm sure they will, though.
I'm sure I'll beat Uncharted
in like 6 months when nobody cares.
No one cares if I beat it right now, except for you.
Yeah, I want us all to talk about it.
I'm going to beat it. See, okay, now here's one thing I'll say that is the downside to the way that we've been playing games lately is there's not a lot of time for you to go do something like beat Uncharted. Because when you jump on, there's like 6 people wanting to play together.
I did it too.
Yeah, Dan did it.
Yeah, but you didn't play with us. Like I kept playing with other people when that happened.
Nah, I still played multiplayer with you guys every night and still beat the game.
Yeah, I didn't get off work, get home, and get on until 9, and everybody had been playing already.
That's true. I usually did get on until, 9:30, 10 o'clock at night.
Right, so like we would jump on and start playing multiplayer, but, you know, I don't get to play during the day at all.
Yeah,
I mean, 3 days off, that's all it took.
Yeah, but people run through those games different. I know, Matt, you think we've talked about it. Your experience with Uncharted was that was a game that was to be played through like that and is meant to be played again and over and over.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that you have to like blast through it in 48 hours, but
right. But you said you felt like it's meant to be played more than once to take everything in, and that's fine. But that's. The game developer doesn't decide how you play their game. You decide how you play their game. If that's how it felt for you, that's fine. There's too much I would have missed if I played that way. Because I'm not one to go back and play games a second time. So I need to take my time and slow down and go through everything the first time. Because I won't be playing it again.
Well, I also decide on, so if on my day off, I probably won't play it all until 9:30 at night.
Right.
So, you know, I didn't turn my PS4 on at all, until it's time for everybody to get on and start playing together. Do I finish the story or do I play multiplayer Uncharted then multiplayer Rocket League? Well, those two sound more fun to me right now. Because I am enjoying that so much that to me sounds like more fun than finishing that story right now.
Right. I think it's going to be like Last of Us where you never finish it.
No, I'll finish it. I want to finish the story. I have no desire to finish The Last of Us.
I can't imagine that. I think I'm gonna replay The Last of Us this month.
It's so funny that you said that because I was just.
Are you thinking the same thing?
I was just about to say Uncharted 4 made me want to go back through and play Last of Us.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to. Yeah.
Before the podcast, I was looking around. I think we might want to play Last of Us multiplayer again, even if it's only me and you, Dan.
Okay.
If you have Uncharted 4 and you have The Last of Us, you got some really cool hidden things for The Last of Us. You got Nathan Drake's heist costume. You got Nathan Drake, his heist costume, and his Uncharted 2 costume, and the golden guns for The Last of Us to play multiplayer. Really cool. I didn't know that happened. I was going through my downloads this morning and saw it.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I'm
cool
more.
I've
been thinking about getting the Uncharted collection since playing this one because I've
thought about that too.
I think I like the idea of playing back through once I finish 4. It's just the time that would require.
I'll just go play them in the living room. I don't need to buy anything
but
extra.
I think we've talked about that. You and
I want one to be remastered though. 2
Yeah,
and
it's
3
not
I understand replaying over, but one's kind of...
Yeah.
I've seen
one's not unplayable. The grenade toss is ridiculous, but the game's
I've just
not
seen them running
unplayable.
side by side, and it's drastically different. For that one, I would say there's not much difference between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
One's not a great game. One's a good game.
Yes.
But I think if you go back and play one was not great.
I agree with that.
2 and 3 were fantastic. That game definitely hit its stride on the second one and kept going from there.
Mm-hmm.
But that first one is just okay.
And I personally, I liked 2 better than 3.
A lot of people feel that way. I think 3 has gotten a lot more hate since 4 came out, though.
I liked 3's multiplayer better than any of them, but I thought 2 had I thought 4 had the best story, but I think of 2 and 3, 2 was the better single-player game, and 3 was the better multiplayer game.
I like 3 better than 2.
Here's how I'm going to liken it. I'm going to liken it to the Star Wars trilogy. 2 is the Empire. 4 is the Force Awakens. It goes just in order.
Yeah, I can get that. Yeah.
And that's how I feel about it. It's I honestly liked 1 better than 3 of Uncharted. I felt that 3 tried to do too much different that wasn't. It just tried to do too much and it kind of scattered itself a little bit by trying to do that. That's how I feel about 3.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I thought 3 was a good enough story. It had some good twists and turns.
The part when he got drugged and...
Spoilers.
Oh, come on. Really?
No, I don't give a shit. I played it.
The game's 6 fucking years old or whatever. 4 years old.
Some people hadn't played it.
I don't care.
Some people hadn't played it.
I don't care.
Somewhere there's somebody sitting with The Happening and Uncharted 3 sitting on their coffee table
I don't
like,
care.
fuck.
I don't care. You know the Sixth Sense? Turns out Bruce Willis is dead the whole time.
You're a fucking
Jesus
animal.
Christ. Leia and Luke are brother and sister.
That's right.
What is wrong with you guys?
And Darth Vader is Luke's dad. I'm about to throw out the big one. I better not.
Drop it on him.
I don't know. It's only been 5 months.
Hit him with it.
Why do you know which one I'm talking about?
Why do you want to be
don't you?
those people?
Hit him with it. Let him know.
You know which
Let him
one
know
I'm
about
talking
Kylo
about.
Ren. Let him know what happens.
Yep, that's the one.
Everybody saw that movie. Everybody knows.
I didn't see that movie.
All right, well, tell Ryan real quick, and then we'll move on with our day.
Say anything. No, if it was 6 months, I would, but it's only been 5.
Well, let's talk about what you played so we can move into the news.
Yeah, the news.
What I played?
You're the only one that hasn't gone yet.
Pretty much the same thing as you guys. I finished Uncharted 4 this week. I played some Rocket League multiplayer, some Uncharted multiplayer, and I started back playing The Division again with the new update coming out. So
yeah, when I got on last night, I thought that your Uncharted 4 had broken.
Why?
Because you were playing The Division. I thought something must have gone wrong.
Nope. I just new update coming out this week.
For you to be cocky enough to think you had time to play 3 games.
You cocky son of a bitch.
Let's talk about some news.
Hey, I like The Division. I still like The Division. I'm not apologizing for that.
No, that was my first question last night was, how is The Division? You said it was good. I left it alone. I just didn't think you would go back to it after Uncharted came out.
Why? No, there's a new... I told you guys last week that I was...
Yeah, I didn't believe you.
Well, okay. Well, now you know I'm not a fucking liar.
I don't think we learned that. We learned that you were telling the truth about this one.
No, I'm not a liar. That's what we learned.
Gran Turismo Sport. You ever heard of that?
Meh.
Yep.
Yeah, you have. Well,
they mentioned it.
There's a new gameplay trailer out this week. Now, before we talk about the game itself, the most annoying trailer I've ever watched in my entire life.
Yeah, well, it's all like, it's not like in-game engine trailer. It's a gameplay trailer.
Well, it's not
Right.
yeah, it is. It's like you just fucking handed someone who never played Gran Turismo the controller.
Right, because they're just off in the grass. They're spinning out, and it's fantastic.
It's the music.
Yeah, I had to mute it. The
I
music
ran
was
into
terrible.
the kitchen, grabbed a fork, and shoved it into my ears.
Yeah, the music was atrocious. And also, to go along with this, I forgot to write it in the little write-up that we have. It actually went on pre-order a couple of days ago when this trailer went live. So you may have already pre-ordered this game. Hopefully that this news doesn't hurt your feelings the same way it hurt mine.
So let's start with the basics. It's coming out November 16th in the U.S., November 18th in the U.K. There's going to be 4 editions of this bad boy.
Which is ridiculous.
The standard edition, that's what you know as a video game. The bonus edition is going to come with an assortment of digital bonuses. I don't think those have been announced, have they?
No, nothing's
No.
been announced, just that there are 4 editions.
The Steelbook edition comes
I
with a
bet you that
Steelbook.
adds a steelbook, huh?
It does.
Right. It's the bonus with a steelbook.
And the
Oh,
lastly, that
motherfucking
I've
genius.
got too much money for my wallet edition, the collector's edition, which comes with a miniature model of the Mercedes AMG GTS and a car lover's guide written by the devs.
Yeah. That is cool if you're into that.
If you're a
I don't
car
know.
guy, yeah.
Well, if you're into Mercedes supercars.
Wouldn't it be cooler if there was a car lover's guide written by someone who knew something about cars?
Oh, they do. That's not fair.
Yeah, Polyphony Digital, they done nothing but cars their entire lives at this point.
Yeah. I mean, they're sticking microphones up tailpipes.
No,
Right,
that's
on,
not
like,
fair. Is
every
that what you
car.
just said, Ryan?
Yeah, it's not
Jesus
fair.
Christ.
Yeah, you're like, you just...
Oh, that's not fair. You sound
These
like a
guys don't know anything
40-year-old
about cars because they make video games.
Sound like a 40-year-old soccer mom right there.
Like you're just eating Cheetos, drinking Code Red because you play games.
Fucking right.
I haven't had a Code Red in months. That sounds good.
Neither is anyone else.
Today's the day.
And let me tell you something. Those fucking authors there, those car lovers authors, better not be fucking spilling their fucking jelly donuts on the fucking keyboard.
Hmm.
I don't
Can we
like
talk
jelly
about
donuts.
the big womp womp that goes along with this, though?
Have a monster.
Yeah, I think so because I think this is going to be a. I don't know that it's a deal breaker, but I think a lot of people are going to feel some sort of way about this.
Yeah, that's a deal breaker.
Because it's going straight to supercars?
Yup.
You don't get any of your basics anymore?
So I
Yep.
think you knew when you saw the GT Sport name that something was up, because that name sounds like it's not going to be a normal Gran Turismo. It's not numbered.
It's on sporty.
Yeah, and it turns out it's because there are. If you're looking for normal cars, this is probably not your game because everything sounds very supery.
Yeah. Skipping all consumer grade vehicles. No, that's the whole fun of Gran Turismo. So, to me, this means that this is like Gran Turismo 5 Prologue. Like, it's just kind of a little in-between Part 7. You know, between 6 and 7, this game came out. It's fine. This is a deal breaker. I won't be getting this one just because of that.
When you watch the trailer, the game itself looks great, but so did the last Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
5, and I don't
6,
know that.
yeah.
I don't know that it looked drastically different. The UI and the photo mode appears to be where they spend a lot of time.
Yeah.
The photo mode is pretty robust. It looks like.
Right. But it's supercars only, so it gives a shit.
I mean, people give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but I always think back to the fun that we have in Gran Turismo, which part of it is, hey, look at this car that I just bought and look at all this stupid shit that I did to it. And the other part is, hey, let's get the 55 horsepower van and go race that on, and like see who's got the best
There
in
are
one
also
lap.
people who buy Gran Turismo who never play anything other than the arcade mode.
Right.
So I don't, this is, it's not exciting to me to think that I don't have to start in a Honda Civic now. Like, that's part of my favorite part.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to buy a 95 Prelude and see if I can win.
Right, but I think this game is still going to be fun. I think it will. I think you're right, though. I think it's a half step on purpose.
Yeah.
And until a full Gran Turismo comes out.
Yeah. So I think I'll be skipping this one
And I want
unless
the
it comes
B-Spec
out.
mode back. I want B-Spec.
Oh, God. B-Spec was the greatest thing they had going.
I remember like being at work and us starting races on our phones.
Mm-hmm.
For my boy O'Reilly.
Neil.
O'Neal, yeah.
O'Neal.
O'Neal. My boy O'Neal. O'Reilly's. I wanted to sell auto parts.
Right.
That game was good, and B-Spec was interesting because it took you into that manager role of like having a race team.
Yeah.
I left my PS3 on for 24 hours so Neil could beat ass in a Le Mans. Not many games getting me to leave the PS3 on 24 hours.
Not many games would recommend that you do leave the PS3 on for 24 hours.
Not only do they recommend it, they promote that shit in Gran Turismo.
Right, they're like, go ahead and do it. It's going to be fine.
Yeah. Just wake up and wiggle the controller every now and then. I'm going to let you read the next story, Dan, because you're the only one that knows what it's talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
No Trials of Osiris event this weekend. There was a glitch that let players earn unlimited rockets. Unfortunately, what that means is there's also... Iron Banner is also going to be down. It's going to be indefinitely delayed until this problem can be fixed.
What's
And
Iron
this is
Banner?
in Destiny. Yeah.
Iron Banner is the PvP mode.
Yeah.
It's all,
And
all your death matches.
So was this a big thing
All
for
that.
Destiny people, Trials of Osiris? Was this like one of those reasons people were putting the game back in the console?
It was. And
Gotcha.
It's every weekend. It's a new challenge, and it's obviously down this weekend. It allows you to get some of the better gear, things like that. It's not a raid. It's more of a. It's still it's players versus. It's smaller than a raid. It's bigger than your normal mission. Let's put it that way.
I gotcha.
Requires strategy and that kind of thing. It's usually more than one boss. So and Iron Banner is the traditional player versus player modes. So those are down as well. What Bungie said is, when we learned that some Guardians had discovered a way to earn unlimited rockets, we knew it was time for a bug hunt. Rather than punish players for playing the game in a way we didn't predict, we've been waging an investigation into our code. These things happen, so please don't panic. We're on the case, and we've slayed more dreaded bugs than these.
Sweet.
So that's that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that comes back up soon. Homefront? Is that what's next?
Frame rate
Poor
issues.
Homefront. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is just a quick one because Homefront just came out, and so I'm sure people who believe in the IP still bought the game. This one's coming from over at Games Radar. They just had a quick report. It says Homefront: The Revolution has been occupied by some substandard frame rates since it came out earlier this week, but the developer Dambuster Studio says it's working on smoothing things out. Patches are intended to address issues and more. They are already underway in the studio, and community manager Craig Turner is who gives us this news from the studio. So there's a video up if you guys want to see it. If anybody's playing it, I'm sure you've experienced some frame drops. It's dropping down to like somewhere between 29 and 50 frames kind of inconsistently. I would think that for a single player first person shooter, maybe the solution is just to make it run at 30 frames per second instead of trying to push it to 60, but who knows. But if you bought Homefront and you're experiencing that, don't worry about it. They're going to fix it for you. It looks like pretty quickly. So
I mean, I know a lot of people worked hard on it, but this is the kind of thing you see when a game goes through 3 developers.
yeah.
Yes.
You know, this was a Crytek game, Crytek UK, I think, and then it switched to Deep Silver.
And then I went to Dambusters.
And then it went to Dambuster, yeah. So, I mean, it's just...
Yeah, you hate to see it, but at least they're in front of it. You know, they released their game. They realized within a span of a couple of days that something was wrong, and already were working on a patch. So
Yeah.
that's good. You know,
Yeah, but they knew before this game came out.
yeah, it shouldn't have been released that way, but I'm sure it wasn't in their control. So
It's
they had
not like
to,
they were like,
you know,
oh, really? The frame rate jacks up?
yeah. Oh shit, we didn't play our whole game. We
Yeah,
didn't
I'm
know
not
that.
giving them the benefit of the doubt on that. They knew that was messed up before they shipped it.
Yeah, but I'm sure that their publisher was like, "Hey, you're going to ship it on this date, and if you have any problems, have a patch ready to go within the first
Right.
week." And
Right.
and then so they had to make a press release about it, you know. But you know, they seem to be trying to do the right thing. Now, whether or not this patch actually fixes it and makes the game's not unplayable because of this, but it's noticeable. So if it makes the game what it was supposed to be, hopefully,
Yeah, I think that's the difference. it didn't break the game like we've seen in some of these, like Drive Club.
Yeah.
The game wasn't broken. There was just some spots where it slowed down.
Yeah,
is essentially
hopefully
what that means.
Hopefully,
game's
if
still
the game's
playable.
good,
You can still have fun with it. You might notice some of these, but it didn't necessarily ruin your entire experience. It was just something that got noticed, that happens, that they're fixing. It doesn't make it right, but it's I don't think you compare it to some of the problems that we've had of lately, because it's not they didn't ship a completely broken game.
No,
yeah,
but I do know they knew there were issues.
Yeah,
People get bent out of shape when you see 2 month delay on a game, but it keeps stuff like this from happening.
Yes, yeah. I hope if their game is good, I hope it doesn't tarnish how it's received.
It actually looks okay.
Yeah, it looks like a decently fun game. It's not my kind of game, but
most of the reviews have been right around fair to middling. So about average. It's about an average game.
Yeah, it looks like a run-of-the-mill first-person shooter, so if you're waiting on Call of Duty, it was probably a good pickup, but...
So.
Anyway. All right,
Who's next? Ryan, go ahead. Read this bad boy.
Let's talk about something near and dear to...
Wow, what was a big sigh for?
Just because I don't know if I'm right for this story, because I played...
You were like...
about 45 minutes of The Witcher 3.
You want me to read it?
No, I got it. You had your chance. The Blood and Wine expansion, the one that's hitting on May 31st, the big expansion, the last expansion for CD Projekt's Red, The Witcher 3 is it's going to be huge. It looks like it's an area the size of Novigrad, which means nothing to me.
It means it's fucking big. Novigrad's the largest area in the game.
It's the largest area in the game.
And I'll tell you what I'm interested in. Apparently, you get a house in this one.
You do get a house in this one.
You get a compound.
Right. You can customize your own vineyard.
Sounds
now
stupid
I'm
already.
listening. Can I just do this?
I'm sure no. You're probably going to progress. You're going to have to progress through the game and unlock stuff to decorate your house with, because you don't just pick up magic chests along the way.
So this sounds robust. Is it enough to bring either of you back to this game?
Yeah, Witcher 3 is one of those games where base building, as much as I hate it, is entirely necessary because of the scope of the world. It's like Skyrim. You have to have base building.
Yeah.
Is it fair to say, though, that The Witcher might be the most dense game that has come out for this generation?
Oh, yeah.
I would say it's the most densely populated with like quests and side quests.
With stuff.
Yeah, most densely populated with like good... Honestly, you should play every minute of this content. I don't know. But most of the side quests were unique. Like, there wasn't a lot that there wasn't that, like, the Fallout 4 loop of, like, go do this. Oh, that's exactly like the same thing I did 5 quests ago. Like, there wasn't that. So they did a really good job of everything was written very intently. Like, everything has a purpose in that game, whether you choose to play it or not. But I don't think you need to explore that entire world to get the scope of the game.
I think what was nice about the side quests in Witcher 3 is that they weren't just side quests to give you something to do, which is what you see in a lot of these types of games. Each side quest told a little side story of something going on in this world.
Right.
It wasn't like, I need you to go get this magic lamp so that I can rub it and the genie will come out and grant the wish you need to grant me my wish. So then I'll tell you where the secret chest is. Stupid shit like that. Each one told a little story about that world. And that's one of the nice things about The Division. Everything in The Division tells a story. Now, it's nowhere near the scope of Witcher 3, don't get me wrong. But none of the stuff you do in there, there's always something to run into or something to find that tells another story of what's going on in this world.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's very personal, and sometimes it's a little broader in scope. But it always has a purpose. It's not just there to do it, to give you something to do.
Yeah, and open world gaming is at the bottom of my list. It's something that I don't enjoy doing, but Witcher 3 has done it better than anybody else. Better than Elder Scrolls, better than Fallout, better than Metal Gear, you name it. If it's an open world game, nobody's coming close to what Witcher has done.
That is for you, Matt. It's because in this, it almost acts like a linear game because every 2 steps you take, there's another quest. It doesn't matter what direction.
Yeah, there's
you like, always run into. It doesn't matter if it's open world. You go this way, you get a quest. You go this way, you take. Yeah.
I kind of found myself wanting to explore. Like the character, Geralt made me want to like go stand on a hillside and look around for things. It was linear because you would get a quest and that would get a quest, and in between you would get a quest, and like you kept progressing forward no matter what. But also I didn't have a problem with like stopping that, like just stopping that quest line and just walking in a different direction and finding another quest.
Yep, I know exactly what you mean.
Where a game like Metal Gear 5, which I thought did open world the absolute worst way possible, you have to play it linearly to get the quests, but then the quests send you in these odd directions on the map for like hours at a time for pointless reasons. You know, I thought Witcher did it the best, and to hate the genre, I really liked that game. So I don't think I'm going to buy this, though. I haven't bought any of the other paid DLC for Witcher 3, and that's mostly just... I just haven't finished the game. The game's just so big, I haven't finished it. But I'm sure I will eventually. So, that's cool.
So do you think you'll go back and... This won't get you back into it?
No, this isn't going to be what gets me back into Witcher, but there will be a time where I don't have anything else to play that I'll pop the Witcher back in.
Gotcha.
Kind of like with everything else, you know, like Fallout or anything else. If I run out of something fun to do somewhere else, you know, now that I only have Uncharted multiplayer really to mess around with, I'm thinking about replaying The Last of Us. I'll probably add Witcher 3 to the rotation. And I try to keep 3 games out sitting right by the PS3, and I just kind of play a little bit of them at a time. So.
To be honest, it's got me kind of jonesing to play The Witcher a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I didn't give that game a proper shake to start with. I forget why. I think Rocket League.
Rocket League came out not long after it.
Yeah, Rocket League and Batman and Witcher all came out at the same time.
Yep.
Well, so clearly it would be Rocket League.
Yeah, Batman pulled me away from it, and then it turned out I didn't like Batman that much, so...
Man, the Rocket League, though. It's a good joint.
Yeah. Let's see. So the last news story that we have is this has been hopping around on Facebook and the internet all week, so I'm sure everybody's seen it by the time you're listening to this. But if you haven't, BBC has a little 2-parter miniseries out called Metal Gear Man. It follows an amputee named James Young. He's over in the UK, who... He had a train accident on a platform. He was basically hit by a train because he got too close on the platform. And Konami paid to have a Metal Gear-inspired arm prosthetic built for him. He has a leg prosthetic, but they wanted to do like a shoulder-mounted Big Boss-style robotic arm for him. So... The documentary just kind of follows him as he is before Konami contacts him, and then the process of like having him fitted and building the arm and going to, you know, to show it off in the press and going to like a couple of cons and showing it, and can he meet people that he relates to and stuff like that. It's really cool. Here's what they do: a lot of like intermingling of the Metal Gear storyline in the documentary. If you haven't finished Metal Gear 5, or if you intend to and you haven't, don't watch it, because it spoils the story about as bad as anything ever has. It shows like the actual ending of the game that you have to like complete 100% of the things to get. Like, it just shows that right at the beginning of the first part of the miniseries. So be very careful if you're going to watch this. But it really is cool to see what they do for this guy to give him some like connection, you know, to, I guess, back into society by having this arm, even though it's like robotic and has LEDs and all this crazy shit with it. But pretty cool. Did you guys watch it? I sent the links in the news, but I didn't know if you guys...
I did not watch it.
Gotcha.
I watched a little bit of it, but I didn't finish. Because I'm going to go back and finish the story.
Well, because
for
to be fair, Matt, you didn't send it to me. You sent it to Ryan, and he had to send it to me this morning.
True. Oh, I thought what was going to happen was Ryan was going to comb this and fix it for the format, and then he didn't. So, Also, since we're talking Metal Gear, Hideo Kojima finally tweeted out his screen cap for for Kojima Productions. Last week we talked about how he was teasing the logo was just a head for a character, and we got that I think like Tuesday of this week, right after we had the podcast go live. He tweeted out a like an EVA suit that has that head on it from the logo that is a helmet. So, do you guys have any predictions of what we may be seeing for the game?
I don't have any idea. This didn't give me any more clarity when I saw it all.
It did look
right. Clearly, it's outer space, but
yeah, it almost looks similar to the Vanquish suits.
Yeah, it does. But the the glowy skeleton looks like Snatcher.
Yeah, but they're bulkier.
Yeah, it's we'll see. It looks good, but I just need to see more. I'm definitely intrigued though. EVA suits and space exploration really get me going. So
it's a cool picture, but
yeah, yep,
it's interesting.
Sure,
it looks cool, but I have no idea what it is. Let's talk about some sad news.
Yeah, this is sad.
Boo.
So last week, we said, hey guys, we want to give you some shit. We want to give you something. We want to give you a copy of Doom 1 for your Xbox One. All you have to do is follow @game_Stitch on the Twitter and retweet the tweet that says, hey, I want to win this shit. Lots of you followed.
Yeah.
Lots of you retweeted.
Nobody did both.
But nobody managed to do the two things that we asked.
Separately.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. If you already follow, of course, you don't have to follow us again, but you still had to retweet it, not like it.
A lot of people liked it. I don't. Nowhere did we ever say like it.
Yeah, if you retweet it, you still have to follow us. Like this, it's a 2-part qualifier, and so yeah.
So, Doomsday Part 2. We're gonna try this again on Monday morning. We're gonna send out another tweet. If you'll just follow @game_Stitch and retweet that, you probably have a good chance to win this game.
Right. Because if you manage to do that, it turns out you may be the only one who did.
Yeah. Your
based on past performance.
Your ability to follow directions may just get you a copy of Doom 1.
Right. Free digital copy of Doom on Xbox One. Follow us on Twitter. Retweet the tweet on Monday morning when the podcast goes live. So the contest, 2 things to qualify. The drawing is random.
The contest of Doom is over, and now we start Doomsday, which is a reimagining of the first contest.
Right.
Doomsday.
Or it's not a reboot, just a reimagining.
It's a reimagining, right? It's completely different because it's called something different, but it's very much a reimagining of the first contest.
It's a reimagining, yes.
Yeah. Winner to be announced next week on the podcast,
assuming
that somebody
follows instructions.
Right.
Someone follows the fucking marching orders.
Yeah.
But we love you guys. We've always known you couldn't listen. That you couldn't be trusted to follow simple direction, but you really showcased it last week.
They'll get it, don't worry. They'll figure it out.
I'll just give them a second to let it soak in. It's time for my favorite segment, the one that gives me a semi-chub every week. Gone but not forgotten. We reach back in our gaming past and we dust off an old classic title for you and we shove it right down your throat. And then you turn this podcast off and you go to the YouTubes and you watch videos. Maybe you dust off an old console and you play this game because you're like, damn, that was a classic joint.
Classic J.
This week it's Matt's turn.
Not to be confused with a Spike Lee joint. That's different.
Could be though.
Yeah.
Although
maybe,
there are such thing as a classic Spike Lee joint.
is there a Gone But Not Forgotten Spike Lee classic joint, though?
If there is, we should find it.
Oh, yeah, it's School Days.
I don't like Spike Lee. Let's talk about Matt's Gone But Not Forgotten.
All right. So this week we're talking about Catherine on PS3. It's not as old as some of the other games we've talked about, but I feel like a lot of people missed this one.
I think that's fair. I would say that's fair.
And I feel like this is a really good game that everybody should go back and play. If you don't have time, sure, YouTube's there, but this game's readily available, and PS3s are like free now, so just grab it and play it.
By the way, that's Matt lying to you. They're not free.
Yeah, that's bad info for sure.
It's made by Atlas, so they're really well known for role-playing games, and I think this is probably the epitome of role-playing games. Troy Baker voices the main character, Vincent. So if you like Troy Baker, he's there for you. The plot of Catherine is you play Vincent, and he has a girlfriend whose name is Catherine with a K, and they've been dating for quite some time. And the relationship, he feels, maybe getting a little bit stale, a little bit too serious. And so your role-playing is like you go to the bar and you talk to your buddies and you're sending like text messages back and forth. Or like you have dialogue options while you're having sex in bed or like after sex. Or, like you're trying to like lock the door so your girlfriend doesn't just barge in because you don't really want to talk to her. Anyway, at the bar one night, Vincent meets Catherine with a C. Not to be confused with his real girlfriend, and she's some years younger, legal, but some years younger, and she comes on to him real hard, like immediately, starts sending him nudie pictures, and you have to like go to the bathroom, and you can text her back whatever you want. But what you get to do is you get to play it very like, do I want to shrug one or the other of these girls off and play my relationship honest, going in one direction or the other, or do I want to be a motherfucking pimp and lead both these girls on, and really like kind of have your cake and eat it too. So the role playing element's fantastic, but also every night that Vincent's a piece of shit, he goes to bed and has a nightmare, and you get this like Q*bert / IQ style puzzle where you're climbing a mountain of blocks trying to get away from whatever is haunting you in your nightmare. Fantastic game. And I guess that's about all you can say without giving it away as far as the plot goes. But absolutely play this game. It's phenomenal. It's if you want to play something different, if you don't want to shoot guns and you don't want to be Batman and you don't want to play zombies and you just want something different to see if it, you just need a palate cleanser. You just need something different in gaming to kind of open up your mind a little bit. Like Catherine is that game. It's a role-playing game without high fantasy. You just play a role the way that you would. Now, one thing that's shitty about it, or the one thing that I always thought was shady, was at the end of all of the mountain puzzles, they'll ask you a morality question of like, do you think it's okay to send a nudie picture if you have a girlfriend? Like, do you consider that cheating? And you answer yes or no, but then once you answer, it like pops your answer out into into a database, and then it tells you like of all the people who've played the game of Catherine, like where do you lie in the scale of right or wrong? It's really shitty. It'll make you feel bad sometimes, but it's a cool game.
Oh, anyway, that's Persona team taking a break between Personas.
Yes. Definitely.
It definitely has that feel. But yeah, that game was unique, and that game was fun. I think we all bought that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I got the collector's edition with the pizza box and the T-shirt and all that stuff.
I got that.
It was cool. Really
boxer
cool,
shorts, T-shirts,
pillowcase,
seductive pillowcase.
Yeah. Yep. Super cool ass game. And I think we all worked at GameStop when it came out, so that's really the only reason we gave a shit about it.
Right.
But
it was interesting. I wish it was on the Vita.
It'd be a good Vita.
I think that'd be a good game for the Vita.
Yeah. Yeah. Be a good one to reboot on PS4.
Oh my god. I'm so done with you. If you have questions, comments, or concerns for the show, make sure you write in podcast@gamestitch.com, or feel free to hit us up on social medias. We are at game_stitch. I am at podcast Ryan. Dan is at Tolhurst2002, and Matt is at podcast Matt. Follow each and every one of us, or follow us all. Same thing. No different between those two options.
Yep.
But you should do that. You should definitely follow @game_stitch, and you should retweet this tweet that's coming on Monday morning, so that you can win.
Follow us. Follow us and retweet the tweet
for your potential chance to win Doomsday 2016 Part 2. It's Part 1, a reimagining of the contest
Part
of Doom.
2.
colon, the Gamestitch giveaway.
Why don't we just call it Contest of Doom Reimagined?
Because I only have 140 characters.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Did you see, Twitter did announce that their pictures and links are going to not be a part of their 140 character count.
Good.
That's good. Links is a good one to take away. Yeah.
Something to think about when you're linking porn to all your tweets. That now it won't take up any space.
Who does that?
Have to follow and see.
Now, does that mean that you can type like http:// and then whatever your message is and put .com at the end and it won't take up any characters?
Hard to say.
Ooh, you'll have to try that.
Yeah.
Who knows? You might have found a loophole, Matt.
At that point, it just becomes Tumblr, though.
Right.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's what they want, so.
Is it? Is that what they want?
I don't know. I think so.
I've been to Tumblr. It's dark.
Right.
Tumblr started out as such a pure, fun idea. Spend too much time over there, you see some things.
What are you doing on Tumblr?
I've seen some shit.
It's kind of like going
Get out of there.
Kind of like going to war, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, you don't ever forget your Tumblr
obviously.
experience. Or daily experiences. We end each and every episode with a segment we call One Final Thing with Uncle Dan. This week is no different. Take us out, Dan.
Got an easy one this week. Just a little advice for you. There's a lot of people. I was watching a thing. It's occurred to me that there's a lot of people that, Jesus appears to them, and Jesus spoke to me, and I was near-death experience, and I saw Jesus' face, and he told me to have hope. And here's the thing: if Jesus ever appears to you in any way, shape, or form, I'll tell you what you do. Ask him to bevel cut a jack rafter onto a door header. If he doesn't know what you're talking about, it ain't him.
Is that carpentry thing?
Yep. If he
What
doesn't
does
know
it mean?
What, to bevel cut a jack rafter onto a door header?
Yeah, what does that mean?
I don't know. I'm not Jesus.
Oh, my God. Well, how do you know if he's answering truthfully or not if you don't know what it means?
No, a bevel cut is where you have to cut an angle into a beam.
Okay.
Cut out your angle. A jack rafter is obviously an angled, like kind of like an awning. I guess you would say like an awning rafter.
Okay.
Which
Jack
means it's not
rafter?
just a jack rafter. It's not just a straight across rafter. It's usually like one of the top ones of a roof.
Okay.
You know, the form the pitch.
Yep.
And then it has to have that bevel cut in order to lay flat.
Oh,
with the
I
angle.
see.
Yep. And then of course the door header is usually where you want your main what am I looking for? The support rafters. That's where you want your main support rafters, because generally that's in order to have a door there's going to be a lot of weight because of the frame. Mm-hmm. So you want to make sure that everything's going to be held up above that. So that's how you bevel cut a jack rafter onto a door header.
Sounds right.
Yeah, right. Simple one this week.
Yeah.
Well, it was simple until man started asking the fucking questions.
I mean, I'm just saying. I want to know. I might just ask anybody that. Just ask.
But here's
test a carpenter out.
But here's the thing, okay? If it's Jesus appearing to you, you don't have to know what it means. He's going to be able to tell you,
Right.
because he was a carpenter. See what I'm saying?
I guess it probably won't happen to me because I don't believe in Jesus. So it probably will be one of those things
But
like
Jesus might believe in you.
right. But it'll be one of those things of like, all right, what's up, dude? Go this way. Because
Left or right?
Anybody that walks up to me and goes, "I'm Jesus," I'm like, "You're crazy." I go the other way.
Well, now you know to ask him. To
Right now, I'll hit him with that jack rafter question. Just make his head explode right in front of me. His little insane head.
Now, what I'll tell you what it makes me think of
What's that?
is a jack raptor
which I don't know what that is either, so you'd have to explain that.
I'm assuming that it's a cross between a jackrabbit and a velociraptor?
You're correct.
Okay.
The aggression of a full-size raptor, the size of a jackrabbit.
Oh, those are called ducks.
Nope. Looks like a small...
You ever pissed off a duck? Yeah, they're aggressive.
Nope. Never crossed a duck the wrong way.
No? Well, I have.
But a jackraptor sounds good. Or what if it's just a raptor that's been working out a lot?
And he's jacked?
Uh-huh.
Jacked raptor?
Uh-huh.
I get that.
It's a jackraptor.
Not to be confused with a jackhammer.
Right.
Jackhammer are tough on your back.
Mm-hmm. And neck.
And arms. Tough on the body.
I've never fired a jackhammer. I don't know how to do it.
I have one time and I thought, I never want to do this again.
Well, let's start with it's not a gun.
Yeah, but I mean, you fire off on it. It's got a
So
trigger.
to be fair, I completely believe you. Actually, you don't fire off on it. No, you do not.
Like jackhammer engage.
Right.
It's more like one of those. And I got my voice controlled jackhammer. And I can't turn it off because it can't hear me. It's too fucking loud. This has been episode 176. 176 of the official Gamestitch Podcast. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week. Same time, same place. Doomsday. Check it out Monday. If you're listening to this on another day,
Retweet. Follow.
You have till
Follow,
Friday.
Retweet.
Get him, Dan.
You have till Friday the 29th, I think. Or Saturday the 28th you have. We'll be recording on the 29th.
Saturday the 28th.
So, yeah,
Yes.
Saturday the 28th. We'll give you till midnight Central Standard Time on Saturday the 28th.
Winner to be announced on the 30th.
TBA, some people call that.
TBA.
Yeah.
TBA.
Nope, just TBA.
All right, then.
To be announced. 529's podcast.
Could it be TBD, to be determined?
Yeah, because what if they don't do it right again?
TBD sounds like a
I know what it
transmitted.
sounds like. I know.
Dude, you got TBD? You got TBD, bro? That's what it sounds like.
TBD
Yeah, bro.
TBD or HSV?
Or HSI.
To be fair, it's supposed to be HS5.
Cat 5? You got that Cat 5?
But it's a V. It's the V, so everybody just says HSV instead of HS5.
Right.
I can say whatever they want.
Doesn't make it not herpes.
Doesn't
matter what they call it.
I switch all of my V's out for 5s.
Do you?
Yeah.
Vagina?
Yeah, 5-gina. Exactly.
I think
Exactly.
it's 5-agina.
Vagina.
You say it how you want, I say it how I want.
Oh, shit. That doesn't work, though. 5 has a V in it. You're fucked.
Yeah, you can never finish.
Just 5, 5, 5, 5, 5.
Yeah.
You just got to keep going with
Yeah.
5.
Right. As soon as you realize that you start over, so you don't even get to finish saying 5. You just... Yeah, I don't even want to do it. This has been episode 176. Good night.
Good night.